Oh, that's easy.
People building relationships has always been something that has expanded. So when you are dealing with people and you don't have that relationship built up, you're not building trust, you're not building a base where you can deepen it, further it, and learn and expand from it, especially in terms of business. So I have a degree in psychology, behavior therapy, and just learning along the way. 48 years old.
Oh,
So,
really? You look great for
thank
48 years old.
Yeah, I just turned 48 in April, so.
And you're driving the manual truck, which is fun.
Yes.
Like, you should see
very
this
fun.
truck. Like, it looks, strong, and she's
Especially
coming
with
up.
me at only 5'4", so I'm like, hey, coming up the hill.
That's amazing. So, what is the business model you bring to market, and how can people access it?
I bring, again, building those personal relationships. I do a lot of personal coaching, private coaching, working with people within business and personal relationships. Looking at business processes is one of the things that I do, but really what I'm looking at is the mindset of a business owner or somebody that wants to start a business, where they're at, what we need to do to change it, and get them into a really positive mindset, peeling back the layers of all the old beliefs and paradigms that we've lived under for thousands of years.
Have you had a similar scenario where you needed to peel back?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I wrote an article on it. It's on LinkedIn and published in a couple magazines. I went through a transformation where I really just questioned everything that I had done, all my experiences, and trying to find the answers to those. And really what it came down to was less about finding answers and more about acceptance of myself and who I was and where I wanted to be.
That's huge, isn't it? It's definitely huge.
It's transforming.
It is transforming. I'm sorry that you didn't get to meet the guy that was here before. It would have been good to connect you. He is from Denver as well, but please do remind me to connect you both. Yeah, he just left his day job and is transitioning into full-time entrepreneurship. Yeah, so it would have been good to have a conversation with that guy.
I've been doing behavior therapy and business processes consulting for a little over 25 years, but I also worked in the corporate world, and a couple of years ago that's what I did. I just walked out.
Yeah. That's you. Wow. So where would be the best place for someone who's listening to connect with you?
I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn. You can always look me at LinkedIn. Feel free to give me a call.
What's the name?
Elizabeth Rust.
No, on Instagram as well, Elizabeth Rust?
It
sounds like a name that would be super popular and would be challenging to get.
It's funny because when you put me into Google, I'm the first one to
Well, that's good, Elizabeth Rust.
So that's nice.
Well, that's
or
wonderful.
Corporal Consulting.
Okay.
But Elizabeth Rust, you'll find me.
So corporalconsulting.com? All right, cool. What is one other thing you've done consistently over the last 3 years?
Consistently? In terms of business?
It's amazing how many people say that over consistently. It's amazing. Yeah.
On a personal level,
yeah, let's do
consistently,
personal. Yeah.
I have made sure that above all else, I'm true to my own values and beliefs.
How does that make you feel?
Empowered.
Why would you suggest someone that's listening do that? Be true to the core of who their values represent.
Well, I think oftentimes we try to fit ourselves into a scenario or what people think we should do. And that's where we kind of mess up.
Yeah.
And I don't want to use the term mess up, but we get lost along the way because we start adopting those person's beliefs or what we think people want rather than what we want, and then we become unhappy in our business and in our personal lives. We wonder, what happened to why we first started in the first place. So when you can stay consistent like that, when you stay true to yourself and your beliefs, you start bringing in the business that suits you. And how happy is that? How nice is that, right? If you're always doing what you love and you're staying true to those values.
It's still work, but definitely a better type of work.
It's work, but
it doesn't feel like work.
It doesn't feel like work. And when it doesn't feel like work,
yeah,
life is good.
Yeah, most definitely. most definitely. All right, well, let's switch gears for a moment.
Okay.
Let me now invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Elizabeth, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Preschool, probably.
Tell me more.
My preschool teacher, Mr. Garcia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did he do?
He was, he loved kids. He was very loving. It's just open and warm, and I can remember he would always wait for me at the corner of the school while I walked up the walkway, and then we would walk in together. And he was always very positive. That was really the first warm, aside from my parents, my grandparents, my first warm interaction with somebody outside of the family. That felt good.
How old do you think you were?
Preschool, so probably 4.
Wow. So why do you think that memory is so clear?
It made me feel good inside.
How can you connect that memory to who you are today?
I've wanted to return that same warmth to people.
No need for me here. There's no need for me here. It was the exact thing I was thinking.
Giving rather than receiving first. The receiving built that nice foundation.
Yeah.
But to give that back, you receive automatically.
Yeah. The one thing that just popped out to me is like waiting for an individual on their journey. So, and then walking alongside them to that place where they learn more, where knowledge is accessible.
That's super.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually.
That's
and you
amazing.
can, when you're working closely with somebody on a personal level, walking along with them, you see that moment. You see that when that clarity starts coming in.
Yeah.
And man,
It's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It
That's
is.
what I
Love that.
Yeah.
Well done. If we fast forwarded to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
Oh, 12. My favorite singer was Prince.
Right.
You know, I was one that had the posters and everything. Back then, let me see, 1982. I think I was still roller skating and you know, the Bee Gees maybe that was the 70s. I'm a music fan, but
what song pops into your mind immediately? Tell me.
Gosh, that's a hard one.
All right.
What a Feeling by Boston.
Yeah.
I'm one of 5 kids and 3 brothers, so I listen to a lot of old rock and roll.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing though, things can connect sometimes. Even the name of the song, I mean, with the teacher, I mean, it was like, what a feeling, right?
What a feeling, yeah. I think I was still outside roller skating in front of my house in my new Jordache jeans. That was what a feeling, let me tell you what.
Yeah, I think so. That's great. We've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Elizabeth, have you chosen someone? She's like, I'm ready. Have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
I have.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have children?
3.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
No.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Less than 8 hours a day.
If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Elizabeth Ross, what would you say that is?
I am my own person. I am an individual and unique to me. And I do stick by that.
Yeah.
And I think that the people that know me well know that too.
Yeah.
And I'll continue to do that.
I love that. Elizabeth Ross, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, I do appreciate being here. Thank you very much. The one thing that I can reiterate again is get clear on who you are and what you want and being happy. And when you find what makes you happy, stay with it. That's what life's all about, being happy.
I love it. Elizabeth Ross, thank you for being on What is Inspired by
Thank
12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Did you have fun?
I had a great time.
Boom.